Right.
Yeah, Carroll Monaco.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, or what? Not that big.
Yeah.
It's something exciting, you know.
We all ready?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alright. Have you ever wondered what a person goes through to become a popular racer and car designer? Well, Carroll Shelby is remarkably popular with early racers as well as car collectors around the world. Today I'm going to share with you some information about his life as a racer, as a car designer, and what his life is like today. The first thing we will discuss is Shelby's life as a racer. Shelby made a large impact on the racing world. He was born on January 11, 1923 as a Texan. In the late 40s and 50s, he owned a chicken farm, and he raced the street for fun. Then he got bored of the chicken farm after a few batches of the chickens died, and he decided to get into road racing. One day for a race, he was running late, and he showed up in his overalls he wore to the farm. Everyone laughed at him and made fun of him, but the easygoing type of guy he was, he wore them every day to every race after that, as found on the Carroll Shelby website. And by Sports Illustrated in 1957, he was named Sports Car Driver of the Year. And in 1959, he won the Le Mans 24-hour race with his partner in an Aston Martin. This boosted his popularity a lot during this time period. And then late in his career, he designed some cars and won other important races with these of his own kind. And in 1960, his racing career ended due to a reoccurring heart problem, according to ShelbyAutos.com. The next milestone in Shelby's life is what he did with car companies. Shelby designed some highly collectible cars and still does so today. In the mid-60s, he wanted a lightweight, fast car to compete in the Le Mans and other European races. So he took a lightweight AC car company body and put a Ford 427 engine in it. This would become known as the Shelby Cobra 427. Today this car is very rare and expensive, but his company, Shelby American, still makes kits for people to put together themselves. And then in the late 60s, Shelby took a Mustang Fastback and made it better to be a race car, and he named it the GT350. And then later on, he would come to make the GT500. Recently, a GT350, which mimics the Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds, sold for over $675,000 because this car was fully original and had nothing wrong with it at all. This was found on Spiritus Temporis website. After this recent fame with the GT350s and 500s, Ford hired Shelby to continue work on Shelby cars on Mustangs. JerryCobras.net said Shelby went to Chrysler in the early 1980s after he left Ford. While he had little fame at Chrysler, he was the first to have preliminary drawings for the Dodge Viper. He also did work such as the Mustang with the Dodge Amis, Charger, Lancer, Dakota, and Shadow. In 2005, Shelby went back to Ford. His most recent achievements of Shelby will be mentioned next. He still keeps popularity today with his own company, Shelby American. This company builds the new Shelby Mustangs and also other Shelby exotic cars that will compete with Lamborghinis and other cars like that. A few years ago, his heart problem got worse and he had needed a heart transplant. He was laying in the hospital bed and he wasn't finding a donor, so he decided that he would pray to God, and he told him that if he would find a donor, then he would open up a foundation to find donors for other people with his sort of condition. 2 weeks later, a 35-year-old man died of a stroke, and so they used his heart as a donor. And then in 1991, Carroll Shelby opened up the Carroll Shelby Foundation, which finds donors for children for hearts and kidneys, because a few years later he had to have a kidney transplant also. This was indicated from Sports Illustrated magazine. Also, for a tribute, American Chopper even decided to make a bike dedicated to Carroll Shelby. They made it look like the GT350 of the 1967 edition. Also, to raise money for his foundation, he designed his own hot sauce. This hot sauce, a certain percentage of the proceeds from this hot sauce that is sold goes to his foundation to help find donors. This was indicated on the Dallas Morning Star newspaper. So we hope Shelby will be around for many more years to make more cool and fast cars. Carroll Shelby changed the car industry as well as the racing world as we know it today. Not all car designers and racers led such successful and interesting lives as Shelby. However, Carroll Shelby is not an everyday guy like some designers from Chevrolet.